You ever notice how the loudest person in the room, the one who dominates the conversation, isn't always the wisest, the person with the most valuable insights? Sometimes the real power is in silence. It's a strength often overlooked, a skill rarely practiced. Not just the absence of words, the mere lack of speaking, but the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, a deep understanding of your values, your worth, and your purpose. When I think about this, I'm reminded of something Denzel Washington once said, something that really resonated with me. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. It's about focused effort, not frantic activity. That hit me. It made me rethink my approach to everything. We live in a world where it feels like everyone is shouting to be heard, clamoring for attention. Social media, meetings, even conversations with friends, all vying for our attention, all demanding a response. It's easy to believe that if you're not speaking up, you're missing out, that you're not contributing, that you're falling behind. But sometimes the most impactful thing you can do, the most meaningful contribution you can make, is to stay silent, to observe, to reflect, to choose your words carefully. Let me tell you a story about my own journey with silence. There was a time in my life when I thought I had to force everything. That success required constant effort and relentless pushing. I'd chase opportunities, chase people, even chase happiness, believing that it was something I had to actively pursue. But all I found was exhaustion. I was running on empty, constantly depleted. I realized I was moving so fast, talking so much, filling every moment with noise and activity that I wasn't listening. I was so focused on projecting my voice that I couldn't hear anything else, not to others, not even to myself. I was completely disconnected from my own inner voice. One day I just stopped. I decided to try something different. I sat with the discomfort of silence. I allowed myself to feel the unease of not filling the space with words. And you know what happened? What I discovered in that quiet space? I heard my own thoughts for the first time in a long while. I reconnected with my intuition, my inner wisdom. I saw the path I actually wanted to take, the direction that truly aligned with my values and passions. Not the one everyone said was right, not the path of least resistance, but the one that felt authentic to me. I realized that when I stopped trying to control everything, when I released my grip on the need to force outcomes, things began to fall into place. Opportunities arose, connections deepened, and life flowed with greater ease. Not always how I expected, not always according to my plans, but exactly how I needed, perfectly timed and divinely orchestrated. Denzel talks about the power of being rooted, of having a strong foundation, not chasing fleeting trends, not forcing unnatural growth, just being present and letting things unfold naturally like a flower slowly blooming in its own time. That's not passive, it's powerful. It's an active choice to trust the process. It takes real strength to be patient and trust the process, to believe that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when you can't see it. I know it's scary to be silent when everyone else is making noise, when the world is constantly bombarding you with information and opinions. It feels like you'll be left behind, that you'll miss out on important opportunities. But silence doesn't mean you're invisible. It doesn't mean you're irrelevant. In fact, it gives you a chance to observe, to learn, to grow, to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you, to let your actions, not your words, speak for you, to demonstrate your value through your contributions, not your pronouncements. If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or just tired of running, tired of the constant noise and pressure, I want you to try something, a simple yet profound practice. Next time you feel the urge to jump in, to prove yourself, to assert your opinion, just pause. Breathe deeply, listen intently. Let life come to you for a change. Open yourself to receiving rather than constantly striving. You might be surprised by what you find, by the opportunities that present themselves, by the insights that emerge. Remember, greatness doesn't shout, it doesn't demand attention, it whispers, it waits patiently, it grows in silence, nurtured by inner strength and unwavering belief. So stay silent, trust yourself, trust your intuition. Everything you're hoping for, it'll come naturally in its own perfect time when you're aligned with your true self. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired, and embrace the power of silence.